Welcome. Today we're comparing two powerful AI tools, Hermes Agent and Claude Code. They're often mentioned together, but they're built around fundamentally different assumptions about how AI should work. By the end of this video, you'll have a clear mental model of each system and know exactly when to use one versus the other. Let's start with the fastest possible way to understand the difference. Here's the one-liner. Claude Code is a craftsman. You guide it. Hermes is a butler. It runs without you. Claude Code is an interactive coding agent, optimized for precision and bounded tasks, keeping the human in control at every step. Hermes is an autonomous runtime that learns and improves over time. Both use AI. Both call tools. But the relationship between you and the agent is completely different. One is a collaborative session, the other is a deployment. Claude Code runs a tight execution loop. You give a prompt. The model decides on a tool call, reading a file, running a command, calling an API. It gets the result and loops. Simple but powerful. Surrounding that loop, a permission system that asks before risky actions, a tool execution layer for files and code, a context compaction pipeline for long sessions, and sub-agent delegation for parallel work. Design goal: safe, reliable task execution inside a single session. Hermes runs a fundamentally different loop. It receives a task, reasons through it, uses tools, but then reflects on what happened. That reflection step extracts a reusable skill. That's the learning loop. The components are also different. Persistent memory backed by SQLite with semantic retrieval. A skill system that stores growing workflows. A built-in scheduler for cron jobs, and a multi-channel interface across Discord and Telegram. Design goal: continuous improvement across time. Here's the contrast, side by side. Loop type: Claude Code runs an execution loop, task and stop. Hermes runs a learning loop, task, reflect, and store a skill. Time scope: single session versus continuous days and weeks. Memory: session scoped versus long-term evolving. Output: task completion versus task plus reusable skill. Trigger: your manual prompt versus cron schedules, events, and background monitors. That last point, autonomous triggering, has the biggest practical impact. The interaction model is the most important practical difference. With Claude Code, you are in the loop. It feels like pair programming. You prompt, Claude responds, you review and iterate. You approve every action. The human and AI collaborate in real time. Hermes is the opposite. You are out of the loop. It feels like deploying a service. You configure it, set the goals, and it runs. It reports back through Discord or Telegram, but doesn't wait for your approval before acting. This is a fundamental divide in AI system design. Hermes is a learning system. After each task, it evaluates performance, extracts successful patterns as reusable skills, and builds a user-specific knowledge model over time. Claude Code is stateless between sessions. It doesn't accumulate knowledge on its own. Improvements require updating your Claude.md, writing better prompts, or waiting for a model upgrade. Neither approach is objectively better. They're optimized for different relationships with the agent over time. Hermes' learning mechanism is its most novel feature. When a task arrives, Hermes executes it like any agent. But then comes reflection. Was this approach good? Is there a reusable pattern here? If yes, it stores a named skill. A skill is a stored workflow. Hermes retrieves next time a similar task arrives, without re-deriving the solution from scratch. Over time, this means fewer errors on repeated tasks, faster execution on familiar workflows, and outputs increasingly tailored to your preferences. Claude Code is narrow but deep. It's extraordinarily good at writing, debugging, and refactoring code, with a specialized toolchain and tight control loop keeping precision high. Hermes is broad but less specialized. It excels at automation workflows, monitoring and alerting, scheduling recurring tasks, and long-running multi-step pipelines. Claude Code's tight loop gives it an edge in coding precision. Hermes' persistent memory and background execution give it an edge in sustained automation. They're optimized for different problem shapes. Deployment is completely different too. Claude Code lives in Anthropic's cloud ecosystem, accessible via CLI, IDE, or desktop app. It's session-based. Start, work, end. Your data flows through Anthropic's infrastructure. Hermes is self-hosted. You run it on your own machine or server, running 24/7 as a persistent service. Your memory, skills, and data stay entirely local. For teams with data privacy or sovereignty requirements, self-hosting is a significant advantage. For those wanting zero-ops simplicity, the cloud model wins. On SWE Bench, Claude Code scores 70 to 75%, near the top of the field for software engineering. Hermes ranges from 40 to 72%, depending on the configured model. The gap comes from architecture. Claude Code's specialized execution loop keeps the model tightly focused. Hermes' general-purpose runtime adds overhead from memory retrieval, skill lookup, and reflection. But as task scope grows beyond pure coding into monitoring, scheduling, and reporting, that performance gap narrows considerably. Here's the insight that reframes everything. These tools aren't competitors. They operate at different layers of the same pipeline. In a typical workflow, a developer uses Claude Code to write code and open a pull request. Precise, interactive coding. Hermes then watches for the PR, runs integration tests, generates a quality report, and schedules a follow-up review. No human needed. Later, Claude Code handles specific code edits based on that report. Hermes orchestrates. Claude Code executes. Together, they form a fully autonomous engineering pipeline. Every great tool has a philosophy. Claude Code's core belief: A, I should amplify humans who remain in control. This shapes every design decision: the permission system, the explicit approval flow, the session scope. Anthropic believes AI in a coding workflow should be a powerful assistant that never takes actions you didn't sanction. Safety first. Then control. Then reliability. The result is a tool you can trust deeply because you always know what it's doing and why. Critical in production environments where mistakes have real costs. Hermes comes from a different philosophical tradition. Its core belief: A, I should operate independently and improve itself over time. Not a powerful assistant, but something closer to a colleague. One you can hand responsibilities to and trust without constant supervision. This philosophy prioritizes autonomy, persistence, and learning. Not a tool you pick up and put down, but an entity that grows alongside you. Neither philosophy is objectively correct. They reflect different values. Understanding them helps you choose deliberately. In AI agent design, the key patterns are tool use, planner-executor splits, memory systems, meta-orchestration, and self-improving loops. Both systems implement some of these differently. Tool use is core to Claude Code, but secondary in Hermes. Memory is lightweight in Claude Code, but central in Hermes. The sharpest divergence: meta-orchestration and self-improvement. Hermes is designed to orchestrate other agents, including Claude Code. Its self-improving skill loop is first class. Claude Code has neither. It's designed to be orchestrated, not to orchestrate. Let's make this practical. Use Claude Code when you want tight control and high coding performance, tasks are bounded and immediate, you need precise code changes with human review, or you're in an active interactive session. Use Hermes when you want automation running over time. Tasks are ongoing or repetitive, you need 24/7 background execution. Data privacy requires self-hosting, or you want the system to improve through experience. For most serious practitioners, the answer is use both. Claude Code for precision, Hermes for persistence. The full picture: Claude Code is an interactive coding agent. Execution loop, session memory, no learning, cloud-hosted, manually triggered, top-tier coding benchmark scores. Hermes is an autonomous agent runtime. Learning loop, persistent evolving memory, built-in skill extraction, self-hosted, cron and event-driven, variable coding benchmark scores. The memory and learning columns reveal the core architectural difference. The trigger mechanism is the most practically important. One you drive manually, the other drives itself. Let's return to the analogy. Claude Code is an expert craftsman. You hire them for a specific job. They do excellent, precise work while you guide every step. When the job is done, they leave. Perfect for high-stakes work where you have time to be involved. Hermes is an intelligent butler, hired full-time. Over months, they learn your preferences, anticipate your needs, and handle ongoing operations without being asked. Most engineers will eventually want both: the craftsman for precision work, the butler for ongoing operations. Here's the key takeaway. Hermes and Claude Code aren't competing for the same job. They're different layers of an AI-powered workflow. Claude Code executes with precision, human oversight, and safety. Hermes orchestrates with continuity, learning, and autonomy. Together, they form a self-improving engineering pipeline. Claude Code handles precision work on demand. Hermes handles ongoing operations in the background. The question isn't Claude Code or Hermes. The question is how to combine them. Thanks for watching.